Hey Switch fans, welcome back to Switch Top. 2026 is bringing some absolute heavy hitters to the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, and today we're breaking down the top 15 games you absolutely need to watch out for. These aren't just good games, these are the ones that could define the year. Let's get into it.
Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake is an upcoming survival horror title scheduled to release on March 12, 2026, bringing one of the most unsettling entries in the genre back with modernized systems while staying faithful to its roots. The story follows Mio Amakura as she searches for her missing twin sister Mayu after the two become trapped in the abandoned All Gods Village, a place cursed by a failed ritual tied to twins and restless spirits. The narrative unfolds slowly through exploration, environmental storytelling, and haunting encounters, maintaining a strong psychological focus rather than relying on action. Gameplay once again centers on the camera obscura, a unique mechanic where players must confront ghosts directly by photographing them to deal damage, carefully timing shots to maximize power while managing limited resources. The remake refines this system with smoother controls, improved camera options, and deeper risk-reward mechanics during encounters. Exploration plays a major role, with players navigating decrepit houses, shrines, and forest paths while uncovering notes, visions, and clues that reveal the village's tragic past. New additions include a charm system that allows for subtle gameplay customization and an expanded interaction with Mayu, reinforcing both the emotional bond and the sense of vulnerability.
What happened?
The ritual will begin soon.
Everyone's dead. Mia, no. Stay back. Run away.
Splatoon Raiders is a new, upcoming entry in the Splatoon universe, planned for release in 2026 on Nintendo's next-generation Switch hardware, marking the franchise's first full spin-off focused on adventure rather than competitive multiplayer. Instead of turf wars, the game centers on a story-driven, primarily single-player experience set on the mysterious Spiralite Islands, where players take on the role of a mechanic exploring unfamiliar environments alongside the deep-cut trio from Splatoon 3. The narrative emphasizes discovery and investigation, gradually uncovering the secrets of the islands through missions, character interactions, and environmental storytelling. Gameplay shifts toward exploration, survival-style progression, and objective-based quests, while still retaining core Splatoon DNA such as ink-based movement, tools, and combat elements adapted for a slower, more deliberate pace. Traversing terrain, managing resources, and interacting with the environment appear to be key mechanics, encouraging players to think strategically rather than rely on fast competitive reflexes.
The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon is an upcoming JRPG set to launch on January 15, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, continuing the long-running Trails saga with a major new chapter tied to the Calvard arc. The story follows Van Arkride and a wide cast of returning and new characters as political tension, advanced technology, and long-teased mysteries push the world of Zemuria toward an uncertain future, with themes revolving around progress, space exploration, and the consequences of humanity reaching beyond its limits. Narrative depth remains a core focus, with extensive dialogue, character-driven arcs, and interconnected plotlines that reward longtime fans while remaining approachable for newcomers. Gameplay blends real-time field battles with classic turn-based command combat, allowing players to switch seamlessly between action and strategy depending on the situation. Combat systems are expanded through mechanics like shard commands, awakening states, and time manipulation features that add tactical layers without losing the series' deliberate pacing. Character growth is handled through arts, crafts, and powerful S-crafts, alongside deep party customization and bonding events that strengthen relationships and unlock new abilities. Pokémon Champions is a new, upcoming Pokémon game scheduled to release in 2026 on Nintendo Switch, designed as a dedicated competitive battling experience rather than a traditional story-driven RPG. Instead of exploration and gyms, the game focuses entirely on turn-based Pokémon battles, bringing together core mechanics that fans know well, such as type matchups, abilities, held items, and strategic team building. Players can take part in ranked and casual online matches, including single and double battles, with matchmaking systems built to support both newcomers and experienced competitive players. A major feature is the ability to import Pokémon directly through Pokémon Home, allowing long-term collections to carry over and encouraging experimentation with different team compositions. Gameplay systems also include advanced customization options that let players adjust stats, movesets, and competitive roles, offering greater control over battle preparation. Classic and modern battle mechanics, including elements like Mega Evolution and Terastallization, are integrated to expand strategic depth and variety. While the game places little emphasis on narrative, it frames battles as high-level championship encounters, reinforcing its role as a competitive hub.
Take on thrilling matches in single battles and double battles. Finally, we'd like to introduce you to a new way to raise Pokémon that lets you enjoy battles even more. Pokémon Champions offers ways to make raising your Pokémon more
Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is set to arrive on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, bringing the full Fallout 4 experience to Nintendo players in a definitive form. The game places you in the role of the sole survivor, emerging from Vault 111 into the post-nuclear Commonwealth, a vast open world shaped by war, radiation, and clashing factions, where player choice strongly influences how the story unfolds. The narrative blends personal motivation with larger political conflicts, allowing players to align with different groups, make moral decisions, and shape the future of the wasteland through quests and exploration. Gameplay combines first-person and third-person shooting with deep RPG systems, including the SPECIAL attribute framework, perk progression, crafting, and extensive loot management. Combat is flexible, supporting real-time gunplay alongside the VATS targeting system for more tactical encounters. A major pillar of the experience is settlement building, letting players gather resources, construct bases, manage settlers, and customize defenses across multiple locations. The Anniversary Edition includes the full base game along with all major expansions, such as Far Harbor and Nuka World, plus a large collection of Creation Club content that adds new weapons, quests, and customization options.
The end of the world, all over again. Let's go, pal.
007 First Light is an upcoming action-adventure title scheduled to release on March 27, 2026, bringing a fresh take on the James Bond universe to Nintendo Switch players through an original origin story. The game focuses on a young Bond at the very beginning of his MI6 career, portraying his transformation from a talented but unproven recruit into a fully fledged 00 agent, with the narrative emphasizing espionage, personal growth, and high-stakes global conspiracies. Storytelling plays a central role, unfolding through cinematic missions, character interactions, and dramatic set pieces inspired by classic Bond themes while remaining self-contained and approachable. Gameplay blends third-person action, stealth, and tactical infiltration, encouraging players to choose between silent approaches, gadget-based solutions, or direct combat, depending on the situation. Gunplay is paired with classic spy tools and gadgets that support creative problem-solving rather than pure shooting, reinforcing the fantasy of being a resourceful secret agent. Missions take place across varied international locations, mixing controlled linear sequences with flexible encounters that reward planning and observation.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
The Duskbloods is an upcoming action title scheduled to release in 2026, exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2, offering a darker and more experimental direction from its developer, with a strong focus on online play. Set in a gothic, blood-soaked world inspired by Victorian and steampunk aesthetics, the game places players in the role of Bloodsworn, supernatural warriors empowered by cursed blood and driven by the pursuit of First Blood, a central objective that defines each match. Instead of a traditional single-player campaign, the experience revolves around PPVE gameplay, with up to 8 players competing and clashing within hostile environments filled with deadly creatures, powerful bosses, and shifting objectives. Matches encourage a mix of rivalry and temporary cooperation, as players must decide when to fight each other and when to focus on surviving the environment. Combat emphasizes deliberate timing, varied abilities, and distinct character styles, allowing for different tactical approaches depending on the chosen Bloodsworn. Environmental hazards and dynamic events can alter encounters mid-match, forcing players to adapt quickly.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
Elden Ring Tarnished Edition is an upcoming action RPG scheduled to release on Nintendo Switch to 10 in 2026, offering a complete version of From Software's acclaimed dark fantasy epic, tailored for Nintendo's next hardware. This edition includes the full base game set in the vast lands between, along with the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, delivering an enormous interconnected world filled with dangerous regions, intricate dungeons, and unforgettable boss encounters. Players take on the role of the Tarnished, a customizable warrior seeking to restore the Elden Ring, with the story unfolding through cryptic dialogue, environmental storytelling, and fragmented lore that invites interpretation rather than direct exposition. Gameplay centers on deliberate, skill-based combat that rewards patience, positioning, and mastery, allowing players to approach encounters with melee weapons, magic, stealth, or hybrid builds. Exploration is a defining pillar, encouraging freedom and curiosity as hidden paths, optional bosses, and secrets are scattered across the open world. Character progression offers deep customization through weapons, armor, spells, and abilities, letting players shape their playstyle over time. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, is an upcoming action RPG scheduled to release on Nintendo Switch in 2026, offering a new HD 2D adventure that blends classic charm with modern systems. The story follows Elliot, a young adventurer from the kingdom of Huther, who sets out beyond humanity's last stronghold after the discovery of ancient ruins, joined by his fairy companion Faye as they explore the dangerous continent of Philabildia and uncover mysteries tied to time and long-forgotten history. Narrative progression is driven by exploration, environmental storytelling, and character interactions rather than constant exposition, giving the journey a steady sense of discovery. Gameplay focuses on real-time action combat, allowing Elliot to equip and freely switch between 7 different weapon types, each with its own feel, abilities, and tactical role in battle. Progression is handled through magicite crystals, which enhance weapons and encourage experimentation with different playstyles. Faye plays an active role in both combat and exploration, assisting with attacks, navigation, and puzzle solving, and can even be controlled by a second player for optional cooperative play.
Closer and more. There are 7 weapon types in total, but that's not all. You can also strengthen your weapons by equipping different combinations of magicite. Try out all sorts of variations to find the playstyle that works for you.
Mario Tennis Fever is an upcoming sports game set to launch on February 12, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, delivering a new entry in the Mario Tennis series with expanded mechanics and a light, story-driven twist. Gameplay builds on classic tennis fundamentals like topspins, slices, lobs, and precise positioning, while introducing the new Fever system, where extended rallies charge a fever gauge that can be unleashed for powerful fever shots with special effects. These effects vary depending on the racket equipped, adding strategic depth as players choose from a wide range of rackets that can alter the court, disrupt opponents, or enhance shot properties. The roster is one of the largest in the series, featuring dozens of characters from the Mushroom Kingdom, each with distinct strengths that influence playstyle. Multiple modes are included, such as traditional tournaments, special challenge-based modes with rule variations, online multiplayer, and optional motion-controlled play using Joy-Con for a more physical tennis experience. A dedicated adventure mode adds narrative flavor, following Mario and friends as they face strange events on a mysterious island, blending story progression with match-based challenges and skill-building encounters.
In tournament mode. Aim for the top by completing different objectives in the Trial Towers mode. Play matches with unexpected rules in Mix It Up mode. Even some where you'll experience wonder effects.
Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection is an upcoming JRPG scheduled to release on March 13, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, continuing the Monster Hunter Stories sub-series with a stronger narrative focus and refined systems. The story is set amid rising tension between the kingdoms of Azuria and Vermeil after a mysterious phenomenon known as the Crystal Encroachment begins corrupting the land and threatening both humans and monsters. You play as a rider, a warrior capable of forming deep bonds with monsters, whose journey becomes deeply personal and political when the hatching of twin Rathalos rekindles memories of an ancient tragedy tied to both nations. The narrative explores themes of legacy, coexistence, and conflict through character-driven storytelling and world-building. Gameplay retains the series' signature turn-based combat, built around a strategic rock-paper-scissors system of attack types that rewards prediction, planning, and smart monstie synergy. Players can hatch, raise, and customize a wide variety of monsties, strengthening bonds to unlock powerful abilities and coordinated attacks. Exploration, questing, and RPG progression play a major role, encouraging experimentation with party setups and monster growth paths. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is an upcoming tactical RPG scheduled to release in 2026 on Nintendo Switch 2, serving as the next mainline entry in the Fire Emblem series. The story revolves around the Heroic Games, a grand and dangerous tournament organized by a mysterious divine sovereign who promises to grant the winner's deepest wish, drawing warriors from different lands, backgrounds, and ideologies into a conflict driven by ambition, fate, and personal desire. Narrative progression emphasizes character motivations, rivalries, and moral choices, with relationships and alliances shaping how the larger conflict unfolds. Gameplay returns to the series' core turn-based, grid-based tactical combat, where positioning, terrain, and unit synergy are critical to success. Classic mechanics such as weapon types, class strengths, and strategic resource management are expanded with new systems like Blaze Arts, powerful abilities that consume HP to turn the tide of battle at a calculated risk. Unit variety is broadened through new classes and expanded mobility options, while familiar features like weapon durability and advanced combat skills reinforce careful planning over brute force.
That I face it again. I must cull it with this blade. My full strength.
There's a man I hate so much that simply killing him will not satisfy me. For that reason, I refuse to die.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is an upcoming JRPG scheduled to release on February 5, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, offering a modern reimagining of the classic Dragon Quest VII while preserving its expansive spirit. The story follows a young hero from the peaceful island of Astard who, alongside close friends, uncovers ancient ruins that open gateways to the past, revealing lost continents erased from the present by a mysterious force. Each restored land tells its own self-contained tale, gradually weaving into a larger narrative about history, sacrifice, and the power of human connection. Gameplay remains firmly rooted in traditional turn-based combat, but introduces meaningful refinements, including a revamped vocation system that allows characters to combine roles and abilities for greater tactical flexibility. Battles are smoother thanks to quality-of-life improvements, such as adjustable combat speed and streamlined menus, while still rewarding careful planning and party synergy. Exploration is a major pillar, encouraging players to travel across different eras, solve environmental puzzles, and uncover secrets that directly reshape the world map.
Haha, this is the stuff! You and me battling side by side again! Flame Splitter! There's no time to waste. Here's to one last adventure.
Resident Evil Requiem is an upcoming survival horror title scheduled to release on February 27, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, marking the next mainline chapter in Capcom's long-running Resident Evil series. The story follows FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft as she investigates the abandoned Wrenwood Hotel, a location tied to her mother's mysterious death, gradually uncovering connections to the long-lasting consequences of the Raccoon City disaster and the hidden remnants of past biohazard experiments. The narrative places a strong emphasis on psychological tension and personal stakes, blending classic Resident Evil mystery with new characters and locations. Gameplay combines traditional survival horror elements such as limited resources, puzzle solving, and careful exploration with more intense action-driven sequences, creating a pacing that shifts between vulnerability and controlled combat. Players can experience the game in either first-person or third-person perspective, allowing different approaches to atmosphere, combat awareness, and immersion. Enemy encounters are designed to be tense and unpredictable, encouraging strategic movement, precise shooting, and smart inventory management, rather than constant aggression.
Hey, over here. FBI, what are you doing here?
Would you like to see what's hidden under the hood?
Don't do anything stupid.
Me? Never.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is set to release on January 22, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, bringing the enhanced version of Square Enix's reimagining of a classic JRPG to Nintendo players. The game retells the opening chapter of the original story, set in the sprawling industrial city of Midgar, where mercenary Cloud Strife becomes involved with the resistance group Avalanche in their fight against the Shinra Electric Power Company, gradually uncovering deeper conflicts tied to the planet's fate and his own past. Storytelling is more character-driven and cinematic than the original, expanding scenes, relationships, and emotional beats while preserving the core narrative. Gameplay blends real-time action with tactical, command-based systems, allowing players to pause combat to issue abilities, cast magic, use items, and summon powerful allies, creating a balance between reflex-based action and strategic planning. Players can freely switch between party members during battles, each offering distinct combat styles that encourage teamwork and smart use of materia customization. Intergrade also includes the Episode Intermission expansion, a self-contained side story starring Yuffie Kisaragi that adds new perspectives, mechanics, and fast-paced combat encounters.
You're not real. You're dead.
This planet is my birthright.
I don't believe it. We played right into Shinra's hands.
The future isn't set in stone.
And there you have it, the top 15 most anticipated Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games coming in 2026. From tactical strategy to survival horror and massive JRPGs, next year is absolutely loaded with incredible experiences. Which of these games are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me what other upcoming Switch and Switch 2 games you're keeping an eye on. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo Switch content. Until next time.